Now let's go on to Queer Up Business. Conservatives are upset that liberal Doc Martens featured custom boots with trans characters. Doc Martens, the shoe and boot company, is coming under fire for a custom pair of boots that celebrate transgender people. Conservatives are outraged that the company worked with Colorado artist Jess Fossateg on a custom pair of boots that show a trans masculine person on the left and a trans feminine person on the right with rainbow, clouds, stars in the background. Only 2 pairs of the boots were produced, one to give away as part of a contest and one for the artist herself. But even that was too many for the bizarre and aggressively anti-trans gadfly Chris Elston, who said that Doc Marten sells boots to advertise cutting off the breasts of healthy girls. Anti-feminist activist Ian Miles Chong asked, Doc Martens is celebrating transgender mastectomy? When does this end? End quote. The shoe artist, Fossateg, said that she was very grateful to have been able to customize the pair of boots for the giveaway. The boots are part of the company's special media competition called DIY Docs, where artists customize a pair of boots and are then given away to someone. The company told Peak News that it had always embraced diversity and it will continue to support creativity and freedom of expression. Well, as a card-carrying lesbian, of course, I own Doc Martens. And I celebrate them. And all companies that balk at these anti-trans, anti-LGBT brouhahas that are stirred up, Doc Martens company is doing the right thing, and I celebrate that for them. And I just might have to go out and buy another pair.
Get him, Cindy. Get him. Get him.
Cindy, can I see the card? I've been wanting to see this card that you speak of.
It's got
forever.
a big vagina on it.
Oh, God.
Okay. You know what?
Sure, you want to see it?
No.
We don't Cindy, the irony, the ironic part is that Doc Martens has long been associated with skinhead culture, which let's just start.
Yeah,
now it's for skinhead. When it started in Europe, skinhead culture was not racist. It was co-opted. The style was co-opted later by racist skinheads. But just like Fred Perry and the yellow and black and yellow shirts, they are now so desperately trying to get away from. Doc Martens would love it if the transphobes and the conservatives run away from their brand, because that's when, you don't want to associate. Why would you want to associate yourself with a bunch of people whose sole mission is to hate people?
Exactly.
I'm sorry.
There were 2 pairs. They only made 2 pairs.
Exactly.
Like, seriously, liberals, you guys hate everything that's full of joy and not white cis.
You mean
okay?
conservative?
Conservative, excuse me. I mean, like, serious. It's like, are you kidding me? And Doc Martens have been worn by weardos since the beginning of time, okay? We love Doc Martens. I mean, it's just so ridiculous.
Not a weirdo.
And it doesn't matter. It doesn't. The fact that
Maybe
they
a
only
little
2
bit.
pair. And by the way, Doc Martens are awesome. These shoes and the project in general makes Doc Martens even awesomer. So we'll just say that at the top. But it doesn't matter that they only made 2 pair. Remember the Bud Light controversy?
Right.
There was only one can with a spokesperson on it, a nice commemorative thing. And oh my God, people lost their shit.
Yeah.
I'm expecting tomorrow to see Kid Rock taking an AK and destroying
Doc Martens.
his Doc Martens. And I say it sounds funny, but it's true. This gets to us to the point that we talked about earlier. Total erasure.
Exactly.
They won't be happy until
we're eliminated.
We're all eliminated, and the people that follow us are too damn scared to say a word.
I have haters in social media of me in terms of what I say. Prepare, so mute trolls, because I'm getting ready to say it again.
They're putting it in surround sound right now. You know that, right?
Exactly right. The exact point is a bullseye. The issue about Mulvaney at Bud Light, the issue here at Doc Marten, 2 pairs of embracement. Doc Marten is doing the right thing corporately. First off, diversity and inclusion is good for their business, which is why they're doing it first and foremost. Let's not assume that they're doing it because of rainbows and unicorns. It's good for their bottom line. And that's a good enough reason to do two versions of this. And at the end of the day, for God's sakes, you crazy nut job from Birmingham, Alabama, why do you care about these two versions of Doc Martens? Because Doc Martens doesn't. And the other thing is they just are ahead of the curve. And the whole trans issue is just ahead of the curve. One of the things that I think is surprising all of us is why this LGBT backlash has started, blowback has started over the last number of years. We know really at the end of the day why Crazy Nut Job in Tallahassee is doing it, because it's good for him for the blowback of the hardcore base that he is pursuing. But at the end of the day, it's two pairs. The trans community are just ahead of the curve. They're getting the crap beaten out of them because they're just ahead of the curve. But let me remind you, trans community, like in this story, of exactly what we saw in early 1960s. Doc Martens prepares two boots in a commemorative fashion where the left boot has Martin Luther King's image on it, and the right boot has Rosa Parks' image on it. Birmingham, Alabama explodes over it. That's exactly what we're watching today. It's just the ignorance of the time of a certain class of people that would respond to every process of change. That's what happened to Jews in 1939. That's what happened to the Japanese Americans in 1942. That is what has happened in segregation in the 1960s, and it's happening to the trans community in 2023. You're ahead of the curve. Doc Martens did the right thing, and we congratulate them for what they did. It's as simple as that. We are Queer News Tonight, the world's first and only live daily LGBTQ+ evening news show, brought to you from Happening Out Television Network. We operate in the same model of PBS and NPR, but for the LGBTQ+ community. We educate, inform, and entertain by supporting the 10 pillars of our LGBTQ+ community, with more than 100,000 a week watching us on Roku, Apple Television, and other channels. To keep the story going, we accept donations with 100% transparency. Stay updated and live authentically with Queer News Tonight.